Hey, everybody, welcome back to the NC State Insider Podcast. I'm your host, Tucker Sennett, as well as your lead beat writer for NC State on SI. Here in Raleigh, ready to talk a little bit more Wolfpack football. Shorter episode today, not a ton coming out of Wolfpack fall camp. The team is having a meet the pack day where they're signing autographs and doing a charity event after that portion of the day. So not a lot to update in that regard, but it seemed like a good time to sort of look at what's coming down the pipe this next week. Week from Thursday, opening day for the Wolfpack against East Carolina as the NC State team will look to avenge that 2024 Military Bowl loss that we've talked about a lot over the last couple weeks. Just as we get closer to that game, things might start to bubble up, and that's one thing I wanted to hit on this week is we've people have asked about some of the players wanting to, get back at the Pirates in this game, and they put it pretty close to the chest. You know, a couple players, Jamel Johnson, who wasn't on the team last year, but he played for Temple, so he faced ECU as a member of Temple. He said, he wants to get his get back and help the team get their get back, but nothing really out of the ordinary in the sense that this is a team that sort of toes the company line and says 1 week at a time. There's obviously been a little bit of noise, and you can tell some of these guys want to sort of get over that loss and go out there and beat this team, and they'll do their best. We'll see what happens, but that's something I'm going to monitor this week throughout camp and practice availability. Obviously, we don't get to watch camp, but if there's just a little bit more of an edge as we get closer to the season, especially with that game leading things off. Another thing I'm going to look out for, we probably won't know this week, but and we won't know likely until the first game, but that slot receiver battle continues to be pretty interesting with freshman Teddy Hoffman out of South Florida, sort of pushing sophomore receiver Terrell Anderson for that spot. Hoffman is a confident young guy. Spoke to the media this past week and has that relationship with Bailey, with CJ Bailey coming in. Both guys are from South Florida and seem to have bonded a little bit over the summer. So that's something to watch. I don't know if that's enough to push him into that starting role, but I think, at some point we will see Hoffman catching passes from Bailey this season, and it could be week one. We don't know. But that's something I'll be keeping an eye on, and we'll see if we get any update. I doubt it based on the way that they've operated throughout camp so far, but maybe we will. Another position battle. It'll be the last week that Spike Sowles can push for that starting center job. I don't think he'll get it, but I think this is sort of his last chance to make an impression in the more competitive parts of training camp, probably in the first half of this week before they start shifting towards game prep. We don't know if they've begun that process yet. I'm fairly certain they had another scrimmage, maybe yesterday, but we haven't gotten any word on how that went. Um, and they'll likely start to look at East Carolina. Obviously, tricky in today's week one games are are crazy because the teams are so different from year to year. So they they might find themselves watching film of guys who played for other teams last year just to, get a look at them. But same thing goes for NC State. They have a lot of new characters and they might have some freshmen contributing. So the preparation aspect will be interesting to watch unfold. And it'll be, um, a unique situation if they go in with a freshman center. but we'll have to see if that happens, if that unfolds over the course of the next week. And then another thing to be excited about next week is 2027 running back commit Christian Freeman makes his 2025 debut, I believe, against, I don't have the opponent, but he's a local kid, goes to Southeast Raleigh High School, exciting 2027 prospect, one of the first commits, I think maybe the only commit from that class for NC State right now. I could be wrong about that. But this is a exciting time for those high school kids as they get ready for their yeah, he is their only hard commit right now. But exciting time, high school football back and just means we're a week closer. And next weekend we'll have college football games with week zero. Not any big name ACC teams matching up against each other or with power conference opponents. I know Stanford has their game against Hawaii down there in the islands, but the big game is the Aer Lingus Classic, which is between Kansas State and Iowa, or no, yeah, Kansas State and Iowa State this year, which is a unique situation given it's a conference matchup, but nothing to really look at ACC wise, but college football back. Exciting stuff. Well, thanks for tuning in, folks. Feel free to follow my personal Twitter account at Senate Tucker and the site's Twitter account at Wolfpack on SI, and follow along for all the content you need as we get closer to the season. Thanks for tuning in.